I've, for the past 3-4 years, hated Tesla. You looked at it, every car company goes out of business. When are they going to make money? When are people look at them as a car company? And only looked at the small, bumper sticker, meme-like thoughts on Tesla, and not the deeper ones. And as a short seller, the most important thing you have to do is check your thesis all the time and see when things change. And when they started with Model 3 and the launch and the production and the numbers and how they were eating from the top and the bottom, and I realized it wasn't an EV revolution in this country. It was a Tesla revolution, that people want to own the Teslas. And if Steve Wozniak doesn't like his Tesla, that's fine. There's plenty of people who want them. And they're really turning things upside down, the way it's being sold, doing away with the dealer networks. And then you start saying, how can they make these margins on the cars? And you see, go ahead, it's not me. There's consulting companies that break down, they do a teardown of Model 3 and show it. And then you take it to the number and say, you know what? Even if you don't want to buy it, when the stock was $265, heavily shorted, knowing they're going into a quarter, the first production quarter, with Bailey Gifford, Fidelity, and T. Rowe owning all the stock, they're not selling. They didn't stick by this guy for 4 years. SEC, fraud, Ambien, wine, everything else for them to sell.
As an investor,
yes.
I own a Tesla. I love the car. I do not own the stock. I have a simple question.
Sure.
All the car companies around the world that have a long history of making cars and making money trade at between 13 and 17 PE. When and if this company ever makes money, why isn't the stock going down to $42 and it will join its compatriots at a 14 or 15 PE? Why is this stock not going to go south?
Because the old way of selling cars and how you look at cars.
Oh, it's different this time.
It is different this time.
Oh, yeah, sure. This stock is going south.
Well,
How
about this? I could tell you right now something. The dealer network is a ridiculous concept. All right? I would never let my wife or my daughter, let me finish, go ahead and buy a car. You look at the way Tesla sells the cars, not only are they generating more margin, they're actually making it better. If you look at the non-union aspect of it all, the less outsourcing of parts, they can start making money. The other companies, unfortunately, can't just change their whole business models. When you want to start an EV company, you just can't be half pregnant. You're there or you're not there.
But now,
I'm not saying
I should pay 100 times.
How about this? I'm not saying with my report, I'm not saying tomorrow you wake up, and I'm not saying the shared mobility. I'm not buying any of those stories. Could they happen? Maybe. I'm saying it was an overcrowded short. And you look at the people who own the stock, the big shareholders who own a lot more stock than anyone I know short was short. And what do they know? What are they looking at? What models are they looking at? And once you cross out all your prejudices against the company and against Musk, it's different.
Well, hang on one second. Fundamentally, though, do you think they need money? Do you think they need to raise capital?
I thought so. And
you believe Musk?
It's so hard to say, yes, I believe Musk. But yeah, I believe Musk right now. I mean, if he doesn't need capital, he doesn't need capital.
I think that issue's overstated. I'll tell you why. Because all the shareholders that own it, that have believed in it, are going to re-up if he does a secondary, and he should, and then the stock move higher. Here's the issue, one of the issues with your argument, which is that Fidelity is a page one shareholder on every single stock, and it hasn't stopped any of them from going down when their time is due, number one. Number two, you said, Snap, you don't care about them losing people. It's not even been announced yet, but I've heard that their head of procurement left to go to Lyft, who followed another senior guy who went to Lyft. And then you've got rolling off, and arguably it drove sales last quarter, are the tax abatements, or the tax gifts, I should say, the credits, which are substantial. You don't have that anymore.
I would hate to work for Elon Musk. I invested in his company, but I get why people leave. He's a difficult man. I'm not doubting that. What you're saying right there are all the reasons why I was short the stock.
Right.
But when I strip that down and you look at the numbers, how many they're selling, it's a simple thing. Forget about all the noise. How many they're selling? What's the demand for it? Who are they eating from? That they're not eating. They're eating from the top and from the bottom.
And they haven't announced it without a car companies trade at 15 multiples. On this planet.
Capital intensity.
You're talking about car companies that have generate different margins. Okay.
But the point is that their margins.
You're looking at old school car companies.
One at a time, please.
You think this thing is going to change the metric model by margins by so much that it should trade at a 50 premium to all the rest of the car companies?
By the way, if this was the only company in the whole stock market that we could have that argument, we could put it right here and have that. But when we're looking at the whole universe of stocks that are trading at crazy multiples, and we're going to pick on the one that's probably one of the most disruptive companies, that's a bit ridiculous.
You brought it up. But here's what I'd say, okay, on Tesla, they can't possibly meet the demand that you expect them to have, number one. Number two.
That's a good problem.
Number two, it is, except you're seeing so much capacity come on from the other car companies. Electric cars are huge models.